So if you're looking for a way to actually lose weight without ever setting foot in a gym, I want to show you everything that I did as a dad of 4 kids. Because here's a little secret, is that this actually takes way less than you actually think. So in a snapshot, all that this looked like for me was some simple lifestyle changes, training very little throughout the week, and then just some plain old consistency. If that sounds boring, then you can move on. But if you actually want to see how this is done, I'd love for you to stick around. So first and foremost, I've learned over the years that I just have to focus on my diet. I mean, your nutrition is going to play a major role. But here's the problem, is that most of the information that you hear out there, I've learned over the years, is stupidly overcomplicated. People just make it way too complex, and this can be very simple. And I seriously failed at this for years, and I got stressed out with the whole idea of cutting foods out, and I just could never seem to make progress. And even now, I'm still learning, but the biggest thing that I've learned is that this comes from just focusing on including whole nutrient-dense foods. Just think about including things, don't try to cut things out. And when you're including whole nutrient-dense foods, they're gonna be way more satiating, give you all the micronutrients that you need for your body to actually, thrive. But I, throughout this time, actually still ate ice cream, and ice cream is truly my favorite. And there's no way that I'm gonna skip out on my family's pizza and movie nights, because honestly, I make a pretty mean homemade pizza. And those things just matter to me, so I'm gonna make them a priority even when I'm trying to lose weight. But what did actually make the difference for me was just making my focus with my food to actually just get enough protein. And so what I've really learned is just eating at least 1 gram per pound of your ideal body weight. So for me, that looked like 160 grams of protein a day. And if you're hitting that consistently, the special thing about protein, aside from other benefits, but is gonna massively impact your satiety levels. You're just gonna feel way more full, and it's gonna prevent you from overeating. The other benefit, of course, to protein is the fact that it's gonna help with this, lifting weights. I trained with weights all at home. I mean, I didn't go anywhere for this. This is just in my little home office, very tiny space, but I just have some dumbbells, did a lot of body weight stuff even, and some resistance band exercises as well. But for me, my goal actually was to just each week try to be lifting a little bit more weight than I was the previous week. And of course, you're probably sitting here thinking, yep, well, you're probably training like 6 to 7 days a week. Nope, this is very simple. I mean, I don't have time for that. I gotta make this really feasible. I've gotta do, less, it's the whole less is more kind of theme to all of this. So I actually only followed a 3-day workout split for the week. So, max, it was probably averaging around like 3 hours a week. But I've just learned over the years, you just gotta find what's sustainable. It could be 30 minutes, it could be 30 minutes to an hour a week, or maybe it could be a little more on that. But for me, with my life and all the stressors that I have, I just have to keep it very minimal. But the goal of the program was muscle building, and that's what makes all the difference. And now for me right now, my maintenance calories are somewhere around 4,200 calories, which I know is a lot. I've got a very physical job. I'm moving all day long. I work in remodeling. And so just naturally, I'm gonna be using more calories, but I've also learned, and it took me years to learn this, but how to actually increase your calories and increase how fast your metabolism is. Because you can actually adapt that. And that's something I can show you as well, because I struggled with that for a long time. But essentially, with my calories at that level, 4,200 calories, I just had to go into a slight deficit. So I was eating at about 3,700 calories in order to start kicking off this fat loss. But I did actually have a secret weapon, and it was this. Playing chase with my kids. My kids just love in the evenings. It's time with me. We get to just run around. We kind of have a circular house, so we just get to run around in the house and just have a blast that way. And it's just extra activity. And so the crazy thing is that the easiest way to actually encourage fat loss is just through activity, light activity. I mean, walking is honestly the best, or in my case, running around the house. But walking is just super powerful. And this has been something that over the years, I've really had to shift my brain on, because this is not how I thought about fat loss in the past, for sure. But finding an activity that you can do, you can sustain, it's very easy to incorporate, and that you frankly enjoy, making that a part of your life is going to be a dramatic difference. Now, most importantly, what I actually did that I struggled with for a long time, and I'm still learning in this process, but one of the things was just sleep, prioritizing sleep. And now I know all you parents out there going, Dave, what are you talking about? You're a dad of 4. Sleep doesn't exist. And although, yes, in this stage of my life, I've got 4 kids, from 9 down to 2. I mean, sleep is really hard to come by. But essentially what I do is I just do my best. I just focus on getting as much sleep as I can and trying to get the best quality sleep that I can, even when I'm constantly getting, woken up by somebody upset or crying or a nightmare or whatever it might be. But for me, this just looked like around 7 hours a night. Sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more, but I just did as best that I could. And I'm telling you, if you're consistent with this, it's gonna make a massive world of difference, even if you're not getting like 8 to 9 hours of like solid sleep a night. And the real key here is just the fact that lack of sleep and high stress are gonna be the recipe for weight gain. So it's vital that you try to do your best to keep this on point. But now here's what most people who show these types of transformations won't actually tell you, but I want to give it all to you here so you know the reality of what this looks like to actually change your body. So most people won't tell you what it takes leading up into that before photo. So if you look at my before photo, I've actually got a significant amount of muscle. At that point, I've already spent years building muscle, and I'm standing relaxed. I'm not flexed. I'll actually show you, here's what I actually look like at that point flexing. So you can definitely see that I have got a significant amount of muscle, and that makes a world of difference when you're trying to actually lose fat and transform your body and really look like you've made a massive transformation. But most influencers I've learned are just out to sell you the really fast fat loss. But honestly, I don't want to do that. I want you to see the realism here of what this actually takes. And building muscle is a massive part of this, and it's gonna make this process so much easier. Because remember, fat loss it's not a sprint. This is a marathon. I mean, you're gonna very likely overestimate the amount of fat that you'll be able to lose in like 1 to 2 weeks, but you're gonna completely underestimate the amount of fat that you can actually lose in 4 months. And that's actually how long it took me to be able to have this transformation that you see here in the photos. But there is still one problem. That's the fact that I'm a dude. So all you ladies out there are screaming at the phone right now probably saying like, nope, it's not gonna work for me. But here's the crazy cool thing. Before you say that, I want you to check this video out over here and learn the one key that actually helped my wife to be able to lose 40 pounds. And as always, go get strong, but first go give your kids a hug, because I think frankly, family matters way more than this. And I'll see you over there on the next video.